Welcome to our channel. Today, we are going to delve into a question that many are curious about. What would happen if humanity decided to colonize Mars? While the idea of moving to another planet sounds thrilling, the reality might be far darker. In this video, we will explore possible technologies, challenges, and changes in people's lives on Mars, and why colonization might not be such a brilliant step. Stay with us to learn the whole truth about Martian colonies, technologies for colonization, promises and reality. Elon Musk and his company SpaceX are actively promoting the idea of colonizing Mars, promising that it will become a reality in the coming decades. The cornerstone of this ambitious program is reusable rockets and spacecraft capable of transporting people and cargo to and from Mars. However, despite these technological advances, real problems remain. The journey to Mars will take about 7 to 9 months, which is a serious challenge for the human body. Extended periods in microgravity lead to muscle loss, bone density reduction, and changes in the cardiovascular system. Fun fact, one astronaut who spent a year on the International Space Station returned to Earth 5 centimeters taller than before his flight. However, the joke was short-lived as his height returned to normal due to Earth's gravity. Radiation, the invisible threat. One of the most serious problems facing Martian colonists is cosmic radiation. On Earth, we are protected by the magnetic field and atmosphere, but there is no such protection on Mars. Prolonged exposure on the planet's surface without adequate shielding can lead to serious health consequences, including an increased risk of cancer and other diseases. Solving this problem requires creating reliable protection systems, such as underground bases or habitats covered with a thick layer of regolith Martian soil. However, this increases the cost and complexity of the mission, making it even less attractive. Interesting point, even with modern protection technologies, radiation levels on Mars remain much higher than acceptable levels on Earth. This means that colonists will be constantly at risk, and their life expectancy could be significantly reduced. Resource supply issues. Another major problem is providing the colonists with necessary resources. Mars is a cold and barren planet with a very thin atmosphere, mostly composed of carbon dioxide. Water exists only as ice at the poles and underground, and temperatures rarely rise above 0 C at the equator. Survival on Mars will require complex life support systems, including oxygen production, water extraction and processing, and food cultivation under Earth-like conditions. All this requires enormous amounts of energy and resources that need to be transported from Earth. Fun fact, experiments on growing plants in conditions simulating Martian soil and atmosphere have shown that plants can grow, but their yields are significantly lower than on Earth. This means that colonists will have to constantly struggle for survival, even if sustainable food production can be established. Psychological and social problems. Life on Mars will come with numerous psychological and social problems. Long periods of isolation, limited space, and the absence of familiar conditions can lead to stress, depression, and other mental health issues. Communication with Earth will be delayed by 20 to 40 minutes due to the distance, complicating prompt problem-solving and interaction with loved ones. Social dynamics within the colony can also become a source of conflict, especially under conditions of limited resources and heightened stress. Interesting point. Studies conducted on analog missions on Earth e.g. in Antarctica and isolated bases had shown that prolonged isolation and limited social contacts can lead to decreased cognitive function and worsening mental health among participants. Ethical and legal issues. Colonizing Mars raises many ethical and legal questions. One of them is the ownership of the planet and its resources. Existing international treaties, such as the 1967 Outer Space Treaty, prohibit the appropriation of celestial bodies by any country or private company. This creates legal uncertainty and could lead to conflicts between nations and corporations. Another important issue is the ethics of sending people on such a dangerous mission. Despite the voluntariness, colonists will face numerous risks that could have serious consequences for their health and lives. Some scientists and philosophers believe that until all technical and medical problems are resolved, sending people to Mars remains unjustifiably dangerous. Fun fact, in 2012, the Dutch company Mars announced plans to send the first colonists to Mars by 2023. However, the project faced numerous criticisms and was halted due to financial and technical issues. Impact on Mars environment. colonizing Mars could have significant consequences for its environment. Although Mars is considered a lifeless planet, there is a possibility of microbial life in its underground waters or at the poles. Introducing Earth microorganisms and contaminating the planet with human waste could irreversibly alter its ecosystem. Terraforming projects aimed at changing Mars' atmosphere and climate are also controversial. Such changes could lead to unpredictable consequences and the destruction of potential Martian ecosystems. These issues require thorough study and the development of international norms and standards. Interesting point. In 2020, methane was discovered in Mars' atmosphere, which could indicate the presence of microbial life. This discovery raises additional questions about the need to protect possible Martian ecosystems from human interference. Economic feasibility of colonization. Colonizing Mars requires enormous financial investments. Developing and launching space missions, building bases, ensuring life support, and solving numerous technical problems all cost billions of dollars. Some experts believe that this money could be better spent on more pressing issues on Earth, such as fighting poverty, climate change, and advancing medicine. Despite potential benefits, like mining rare resources and developing new technologies, the economic feasibility of Martian colonies remains questionable. Without substantial investments and international cooperation, this project may prove too costly and inefficient. Fun fact: in 2018, NASA estimated the cost of a manned mission to Mars at $500 billion. This is comparable to the annual budget of some large countries and raises doubts about the justification of such expenditures. Changes in life on Mars. Life on Mars will be drastically different from life on Earth. Colonists will face numerous limitations and challenges that will make their daily lives much more difficult and stressful. Limited resources, the need to wear spacesuits on the surface, and strict work and rest regimes will create entirely new living conditions. Social and cultural changes are also inevitable. In conditions of isolation and limited contact with Earth, new social norms and cultural traditions may emerge. Colonists will have to adapt to this new reality, which could lead to the creation of a unique Martian society distinct from Earth's. Interesting point. One proposal for improving life on Mars is creating virtual reality that allows colonists to visit Earth and communicate with loved ones. However, such technologies require significant energy and may not compensate for all psychological and social difficulties. Conclusions. Is it worth the risk? Colonizing Mars is an ambitious and thrilling idea that raises many questions and debates. Despite all the promises and technological achievements, the reality may be far darker and more complex. Issues with radiation, resource supply, psychological and social difficulties, as well as ethical and legal questions, make this task extremely challenging and dangerous. While humanity has always strived for the stars and the exploration of new horizons, it is worth considering whether the effort is worth it. Perhaps before venturing to Mars, we should solve pressing problems on Earth and prepare more thoroughly for this step. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell to not miss new fascinating stories. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.